Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Farming Simulator 19 here in Erlengrat. You will dump 3,000 litres in there. I'm going to go back here, that's it. Bunker silo is empty. I love that it now actually tells you that as well. That is a really awesome thing that it does actually tell you. So we'll fold that one back up and we will also put that one down around there like that. This one can come over here. Now I need to be able to pick up both of these. This is going to be 2 trips. I'm not going to be able to do this in one go unless I take off my front loader and then I put front links on this tractor, or I go and get the small tractor and I bring that one over here and we do it with that one. So I'm going to actually, because I'm just going to disappear now with my trailers, I'm going to put this weight on and then we'll put the trailers on the back of that one. So I'll go like that. This tractor here, I need to get you started on doing the ploughing over in the other field. So we'll probably wait once we've finished doing the planting of the potatoes. So the hook goes onto there like that. Once those potatoes are planted, we can then bring the small tractor over here and pick up both the roller and the snowblower. Rid of both of those. The milling machine, actually, I need to just back up here a little bit. And my first deposit needs to be made with this one. Put that in there like that. 24,000 litres remaining. Bring that in over here. I'll put both of those trailers over so that they're ready to tip. And I'm going to just fast forward time again so that that is down to 26,000 litres of total capacity on there. I've just seen the field change there. The field's changing right beside us. Go a little bit more. 26, 2, 1, there. Right, now we've got space. Oh, it's because it's getting covered in weeds. The weeds coming through. Let's go there. That one. And then that one. That's the whole lot. So when we go past midnight, we will get all the money for that silage. That's a lot of silage that we've gone and put through. We've got 50 litres of potatoes left in our potato planter. It's still going. Kind of hoping that we can get back over there and get started on the ploughing before... well, we're not going to get started on the ploughing, but we might at least get back over to the field. Get back home before we need to... go and yeah, we will. We'll get all the way back home without any trouble. So we'll go all the way up through here. That one is going to grind to a halt, but I will take these trailers back to our home base first, and then we can reload the seed drill, possibly for the last time. Get that one going again in the field, and then we can hook the plough onto this tractor, and we can make a start with that job. So in order to do the ploughing, I think it would be best if we were to unhitch the... Yep, there we go. Tank is empty. It wasn't really all that unexpected, I will confess. It's not like it's taken us by surprise. I will unhitch the front loader, I think, and then we will put on the 3-point linkage, and... because we can do that in our own workshop. We've got our little workshop, we've got our toolbox. So we can attach the 3-point linkage, and then we can put the front weight on the front of the tractor. The plough goes on the back, and we should be able to take things from there fairly well. At least that's what I'm hoping. Yeah, see, right there, we've hardly got anything left in that field now. I also want to do the raking, but the rake, I believe the rake can actually be run with that really small tractor. I don't think that we're going to have any problem with that. Let's go and have a look and see. There's weeders right in there. That little tiny one right there needs 80 horsepower. 80 horsepower? Okay, that's more than I thought. We do have that one. That one only takes 40 horsepower. It's only 2 meters wide, and it's also only 1,000 euros. This machine removes weeds and improves condition by creating furrows. It can be used only during the initial growth stage. Oh! This is a potato furrow thing, isn't it? Yes, it is. Ah. Interesting. Technically, this is for potatoes. So we're doing the furrows with the potato. I want to use that. 7,000 for one of those. There's a bigger one. There's a really big one there. We're not buying that one. We could go with that one there. It's 2.5 meters. This one's, I mean, it's 1.5 meters. It'll take a little while, but I mean, it's not like that tractor's going to be doing very much else, is it? I think we'll do that. Right. You stop right there a minute, and let's go and get this one. Let's start you up. I'll run over here, and I'm going to just load up one more lot of seed. If we can. This is the time-consuming bit. We get that one in, and I really want to try this potato ridger. So it's a proper ridging machine. My tractor is creeping forwards. Why are you creeping forwards? You shouldn't be. Don't know. Anyway, it's not something for us to concern ourselves with. So we'll go up here. And we will lower this one back into the ground. About there. And off you trot. I have 30,600 euros. We can go and get... to be honest, I think we'll just get the smallest one. 7,000 for that one. That one only requires 54 horsepower, and the tractor that we've got right now is 68 horsepower. So in theory, this tractor can pull it, but we know from experience that this tractor does have a bit of a struggle to pull anything. Quite frankly, this one will struggle to pull Granny off a pot, but we will see if we can actually do it. It might. It might do. I mean, if it doesn't, we can always take the small ridger back, and we can get a slightly bigger ridger and just dump it on that tractor over there, and have that tractor do the work. I was going to set that tractor doing some ploughing, but we're going to wait until we've just done this last little run down through here. This is the final pass now. It's the moment of glory right here. Is it the final pass? It is. He's going to get this whole thing done in a single pass. Moment of glory right here. There it is. The rigid track. SKE 50. With the Grim GL32E on the back. Getting the last of our new potato field planted. Yes, he's gone and left the odd strip here and there. But quite frankly, I think it's done a better job than I thought it would do. To be honest, it's done a better job than I thought it would do, so I'm fairly happy with what we've got right here. I don't think really that we should be complaining about very much. So that one can go down to there. I'm going to turn off the hired help, and I'm going to just quickly drop it in and do that bit, and then I'm going to spin round here and I'm going to do that bit. There's other bits up across the field which I'm not going to go chasing after because I want to get this ridging thing. And I want to see what it's like. So we'll leave the potatoes in here for a minute. Whoa. Right. Didn't actually mean to do that. That wasn't part of the master plan. So we'll just unhitch that one there. And we'll also put this one back. The potato harvester that we've got over there, I actually think that I might take that one with me. And we will return it. We'll sell that one, so I should be able to pick it up with this tractor. Yep, there we go. So that bad boy there, we've used that one, and it did do a good job. It did exactly what we wanted it to do, basically. We can't complain about this harvester. Yes, it required a substantial amount of horsepower more than we originally had. And we did have to go and get backup in order to be able to do the harvest. But once we had an appropriate machine on the front of it, it did a really good job. And we got all of our harvest done. We were then able to go and pick it up quite successfully. We didn't use the machine that does drive around the field and picks the stuff up, mainly because of how expensive it was. The front loader and bucket option seemed to be much better for us. It was more suited to what we had. So we'll just tip that one there, and then we'll run over this way. Right there. So that one we will repair. 30 euros, and now we can sell this for 14,000 euros. There, okay. Nice chunk of change. Thank you very much. Where are we? Here, and weeders, and we're going with that one. We're just going to go with the smallest one, and we'll see how this works. So, standard or with rollers. I'm definitely going with the rollers on the back. I like that option. It looks really cool. There we go. So this should just be a weeder. This shouldn't dig up the potatoes. It's a ridger. So just turned it off. It's very difficult to hear that thing. So, yeah, it is a ridger. So in theory, this one shouldn't be spoiling the crop or anything like that. It looks pretty cool. I'd actually like to use a bigger one than this, but we'll go with this small one because this one will go onto this tractor quite nicely. Fits beautifully with what we've got. And we'll go whizzing back up here. So I'm gonna start this one off. Well, I guess we're gonna have to try and just drag it up around the edge of the field a little bit ourselves, and that way we can sort of just take a look and see how it performs to start with, and then we can let the hired help have a go as well and see if the hired help is able to do anything with it. So you can go to this point. Let's have a look. Fantastic. Does exactly what it says on the tin. And the tractor is able to pull this one really well, which leads me to believe that we probably, because of the ease that it is actually taking this one across the field, it probably would have been alright coping with the slightly bigger version. Yes, that one did have a horsepower requirement that was quite a bit higher than what this one is. And yes, you definitely wouldn't be using this going around a corner. I know that. Alright, this is not a machine that you would use going around a corner. He's struggling going up the hill here. So maybe the higher horsepower requirement one would have been too much for it. That wouldn't surprise me at all, actually. Considering the difficulty we have going up here. Although that was going around a corner as well. I don't know if that actually makes a difference to these machines. Like to the tractors and that. I think it does. If you go around a sharp corner, I think it does actually make the tractor struggle to pull the machine properly. There's a little bit of slurry that we put on this top edge of the field. I mean, yeah, the top edge of the field, it did actually benefit from having the slurry put on here. If you go and have a look right there, we've got the weed there. See, it did benefit, and we could possibly benefit from having a bit more put on there later. So we could have taken a load from the BGA and used that, but we didn't, and it's now done. Okay, we'll take you back this way now. How fast is this going to run going downhill? Pretty quickly, actually. So we want to go there. I get it to that point right there, and then H. Yes, the hired help will do it as well. We've got a proper potato ridger working in the field. This is genuinely awesome. When we come back to the next version of the game, we will be using a potato ridger again. This is definitely something I want to do more of. Now, I just need it to actually be able to turn round. Is it going to do that? It does indeed appear that it is able to cope with turning round. Look at that. Not only have we got a working potato ridger in the field, and it's properly ridging up the potatoes. It's gone and left a bit behind, but here we go. That's fantastic. Oh, I absolutely love that. That really does look good, doesn't it? I mean, at the moment, it's kind of it's positioned just right on the ridges on the potatoes as well. So it's looking like it's going where it's meant to. I imagine if it's like over slightly, it's going to look a little bit more peculiar. But right now, it does actually look pretty good with that. I'm just gonna we can just leave this one to work now. We kind of need to leave this one to work now, because if we leave it too long, it can only do it in this stage or the very first growth stage of the potatoes. If we leave it any later than this, then it won't. We can't do it. It won't let you. I think actually it's only in the first growth stage of the weeds as well. If you get to the second growth stage of the weeds, you can't do it then. It's too late. So you got a small window with the weeds and the weed things like this. You do have a bit of a small window to be able to carry out your operations, but it's still working. You know, I'm thinking that we should get another one of these and have it running. If I go and pick this one up from the shop, we can have that one going, as well as the other one. And we can sell them both at the end of it, because we're only going to need them for one round, aren't we? And that will make sure that we get all of the weeding done. So I will leave the trailers right here. We're not going to worry about, we don't need those. I want the bucket on there, don't I? We want to do it that way around. So we'll leave the... No, not like that. Leave the trailers there, like that. That's more like it. There we go. And I'm going to want to change the bucket and loader arm. I don't want to put seed in them. I know that much. So we'll bring this one over here like this. And I can change it like that. Drop that down there, and then that's unhitched there. So we can leave that one right in place, and then I'm going to leave the front weight here as well, because I want to go back over to the BGA first, and I want to collect the 2 items that we've got over there. So I can lower that one down and leave that one, and then I want to reverse up into here like this and customize this bad boy. We'll also repair it. Do some repairing, 226, and then that actually went to customize. And we've got standard configuration right there. There's no changes with that. I want front attacher like that. That's the one that I'm after. So I'll customize that one. Yes. Okay. And then I can go on here. And I'll drive this one over to the BGA while we've got the weeder still working in the field. Because we're going to want to get all of the weeds done if we can. We're spending out the money on it. I could... Actually, there's no point. I was going to say I could go and put some more fertilizer on here, but there's no point. We don't actually need to go and get that, and we won't do that one either because we'll be selling it. I do want to get started on the ploughing on that field, but that one's not going to be important. We're on the last few episodes now, and so what I want to try and accomplish before we finish FS19 is get the field weeded that we're working on at the moment, and then get it harvested. That's what I'd like to do. I want it weeded, then we'll jump forward until it's harvest time, and I want to get the field harvested. Now, we could also get the other potato field ploughed up so that it would be ready, but that's just kind of extra flavor. That's not an important thing that we want to do. We want to get the field that's planted, we want to get that harvested, we want those potatoes sold so that we can see how much money we get from them. We're going to remove the items from the BGA, and then after we've gone past midnight and we collect all the money that we got from the silage there, the remaining money that we've got invested in there will then disappear. We're selling the BGA, so we are going to lose that digestate that we've got in there, which, well, I'm assuming that we will. I'm assuming that we won't be able to go and get more digestate from there later. But that's something that I'm happy to... Yeah, I can accept that. I'm happy to live with that. So we'll grab this one right here, because what we're doing is we're swapping everything here at the BGA for a potato harvester, and I feel that that is a good swap. I feel that that is a good transition to make. Is a decent... It seems like a good and fair exchange. There's 37,000 litres of silage still left in that machine there processing. So we're going to run all the way over to the dealership and go and grab that. And then we can get back and we can start working on the weeds. Now, if this weeder that we're using for the potatoes does actually work out fairly well, I mean, obviously it's only going to be... well, technically it should only be available for potatoes because it's a ridger. And so... realistically, we would only be able to use that on potatoes. Now, if we're starting to do sugar beet as well, then that's going to open up a different kettle of fish that we're going to need to deal with. We're going to have to get a different weeder for doing the sugar beet. If weeds are an issue with the sugar beet as well. Now, I'm not entirely sure what's going to happen in FS22. It might be that we don't get everything that we've had from previous packs. So we may not get all of the machinery that we've got for dealing with potatoes, all of the small equipment. But those ridges, I really hope that we do get them, because they're really nice. And it's a nice flavor element that's been added in, and I feel that it... well, I'm just going to be a bit disappointed if they're not there, because those... having actual potato ridges, we've not had those before, and I think it's really cool that we got potato ridges that do actually do weeding in the potato field. I just think that's a really nice touch to the whole thing. So that's, I'm really hoping that we do get to have them. Getting a lot of positive feelings from people about the new game coming up and the plans for it as well. So we're planning to basically continue on this series. So like the forklift, I don't know if it will still be a Manitou or if we'll switch over to one of the... I know that they've got young Heinrich forklifts in the next one. I don't know if they've got Manitou forklifts or not. If they haven't got a Manitou, then so be it. We will switch over and we'll have a young Heinrich one that will be sat here at the dealership. So we will still have a forklift at the dealership. It's not our forklift, remember. It is one that belongs to the dealership, and we can use that for loading up pallets if and when we need to. So we're bringing you over to there. So we've got a bigger potato ridger there. To go over here, and let's repair that. 6402. 6406. So we sell it now €4 more, and we spent 3 on the repair. So it's always worth doing. You don't get very much at all from it, but you still get a little bit, and for the amount of time it takes to do it, it's worth it. So 4219, an extra 3 invested becomes 4224. So we would get 5 extra. So we get an extra €2 back from selling it. See, not a great deal, but every little bit does help. So we're just going to jump in here, and we're going to take our new potato ridger and take that up to the field. So we can start working on the lower side of the field with this one, and then ploughing, we can get started on that sort of as soon as day breaks, really, in the morning. And I'm going to have time fast forwarding full tilt right through the day, so that we can get to the potato harvest as quickly as we possibly can, because obviously that's the bit that we're going to want to get to. It's the bit that we're going to want to get started on. We have a limited amount of time. I'm estimating at the moment that there is roughly, we are on the final week's worth of episodes, and we've got, I would guess, about an hour and a half of gameplay left. Which means that we haven't got a huge amount of time. There is quite a few things that I want to get done. We're selling all of the BGA, and then ultimately I'm going to be selling everything we own. So we want to get all the potatoes done so that we can cash out. That's going to be kind of the big thing at the end of it all. We want to cash everything out so that we can see exactly how much money we've got. And yes, In theory, we would end up with more money if we sort of, physically worked out how much money we'd spent on all of our machinery. We should, in theory, have more money than we've got right now, but I'm actually quite happy just to do it like this. We cash out what we've got now and leave it at that. We won't expect to have more, and then we'll start the new series with that much money. I mean, I could, if the fields are exactly the same, rather than worrying about the actual cost, that we get for selling this bit, I could just buy this bit back. So we won't sell this bit. Well, I'll make a note of how much money we have before we sell this chunk of land right here, which will get us a return of 125,000. So that comes back. You get the same back that you put into it when you're buying and selling land, which is actually really cool. I like that. Does make it a little bit easier to sort of figure out what we're doing. But what it will mean for us is if I just disregard that, then in the new game, obviously, the values of the land might be different. So if the actual plots of land are the same, I can buy this bit back. If they're not, then we take the value of the land and we can use that instead. But I'll figure something out when I sort of get hold of the new game, and I can sort of start figuring out how I'm going to plan and do things. That's not something that we really need to worry about just yet. I'm sure something will come along and show us which is going to be the best way to do it. Have I missed it? I think it jumped over a little bit just up over there with the potato ridger. I like this one, this slightly bigger one. This is actually going through them reasonably quickly. There's a 19,000 euro one there that I could have gotten with our tractor, actually. That's a really big potato ridger, that is. That's a beast. We should have had that one working. I should have. I definitely should have. I should have gone and got that one rather than this. I mean, yes, we don't really need anything bigger than this. And it does appear that, it doesn't necessarily line up with the ridges. The texture, though, I'm just wondering if the texture does line up with the ridges. Like, if you had one... No, I don't think... No. The texture doesn't quite line up with the ridges on the ridging machine anyway. So it doesn't quite match in together. But that's alright. That's not really going to make much difference. So I've now got to just wait and let this run, because I don't think that these... The potato ridger... I don't think it can deal with weeds. Machine removes weeds and improves condition of the field by creating furrows. Right. But it, in theory, should only do that with potatoes, but I'm guessing gameplay will allow you to do it with all of it. It can only be used during the initial growth stage, so that would be now and the next growth stage. It doesn't say if it can be used for only the first growth stage of the weeds, or if 2 stages is acceptable when it comes to the weeds. So I've absolutely no idea on that one. And I got no real way of finding out either. Let's go over here and have a look at this. So I've got that herbicide in there. Unfortunately, folks, that is all we have got time for today. A massive thank you to everybody who has earned their way into the Great Book of Names. To find out some more details about all the names coming past, please head into the description and click on the link to the Discord. It's a link to another video. The link is on the other video. Please also consider checking out the links there for Nitrado, who provide gaming servers for games like Farming Simulator, Minecraft, Ark, and several others. And there's also Fanatical, who will help support your gaming habit by providing you with cheap games and also giving me a small commission on anything that you buy using my link. If you've enjoyed this particular video, then please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.